and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Umineko Chiru. So yeah, we're going to, in the next episode, to see how the siege of the fleet is going to, I guess, finish, because, well, sooner or later this chapter have to end, right? Also, I'm sorry if your eardrums are bleeding right now or anything, because I have some problems with hearing on my right eye, left left ear, and yeah, I cannot like adjust the audio properly. So yeah, I'm going to try to put this on the relatively normal levels, judging by like in general the feel, but yeah, just so you know. Anyway, let's just go to the next episode and let's see what's going to happen, how the story will go, and yeah. Yeah, we are about to choose our sacrifice, basically. With rock, paper, scissors game. Also, did you know that rock, paper, scissors is actually a pretty complicated game? It's not just as simple as random. You can check stuff about like you know, like manipulation and like personalities and stuff like this. This is a psychic game. Okay. Let's get to the point. Okay, see. Oh, never mind. Yeah, but the problem is Enja will probably be like, nope. But on the other hand, you're pretty much dead. But there's Toya who's alive, so you're not pretty much dead. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. So we are back to square one when Lambda came with the idea. Both Butler and Enja decided to be sacrificed and wouldn't listen to the other. I think audio, like, soundtrack is a bit too silent. I don't even know if you can hear it. Whoa, okay. That went hard. Sorry. I just fixed audio, I guess. You kinda do. Also, rock, paper, scissors also include Lambda Delta in the situation, if you think about this, because she also included herself. Because if that would be only these two, you could just toss. Really, pretty much. Just coin toss if this is between the two of you. Why not toss then? Okay. Okay. See, this is a psychological trick. God damn it. If you tell someone, I will start with paper, I will start with rock. God damn it. You don't know what to do. Okay. It really is a stupid, childish game of rock, paper, scissors. Despite promising to start with paper, they threw different things to catch each other off guard. Both Butter and Enja choose rock, and yet it wasn't a tie. Because in addition to those two rocks, was one person who chose scissors. Aww. Lambda is sacrificing for others. As a steady. What is this soundtrack? Holy shit! It's so good. Future. After starting stupidly with her fists and those scissors, they looked at her. She did say she will play paper. Yeah. She tricked you. There had been no reason for Lambda Delta to join in on the game. This wasn't time for a joke like that. Powder Energy, each trying to lose, choose rock. Lambda Delta alone chose scissors. They are not going to make me cry for Lambda Delta now, right? They're not going to do this. I mean, the song already is getting me emotional, but... No! You cannot! Lambda Delta made a clenched fist. A fragment glowing pale blue appeared there, and she gave it to the pair of them. Butter had seen one of these before. It was a magic fragment, like the ones Erika had used before disappearing, which would allow one to cross the sea of fragments. Are we going to have Lambda Delta fighting with magic against Benicastel? Benicastel lost one time to Lambda, right? Before she became witch. Actually, yeah, Benicastel became a witch because technically Lambda Delta, right? Because Bern was trapped in that like logic error, and she became a witch by solving it, right? If I interpret correctly the story. Yeah, most likely. That's like logical. Might be. Now Delta pretended to complain as she stood up straight. Lambda Delta supremacy. Who of you in the comments is Lambda Delta team? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Then, with her broadest smile and wink. Wow. Wow. Okay. I mean, I expected Lambda to kinda be a bite. Because, well, I guess it just makes sense, right? Like, they would like... Yeah, it just makes sense. I guess how Lambda Delta... But actually, yeah, how Lambda Delta being the bite is reflected on the real world. Because in like previous episodes are theorized that she's like a concept of like being sure of doing something. But now Butter and Danger are going for the key. And one... How is going to be Lambda represented in the real world then? Because they're chased, right? Maybe we'll back to the real world and we'll see what's happening, actually. Delta snapped her fingers and the two of them turned into the concrete candies. Aw, that's cute. And she picked them up. Took aim at the glint of the golden key and flicked them away. Aw, she can just like shoot them away. That's nice. Cool ability. That way, they should be able to reach the key without Benicastel noticing. Dang, what a terrible luck. What were the odds of them both playing rock against my scissors? That's a good point. I mean, both of them wanted to lose, and just saying you will play something, just plant the seed of uncertainty. This is like, what a paradox. We have Witch of Certainty, and she's put the seed of uncertainty, actually, into their minds. And she actually played something else that she said. She never said she will play Paper Uncertain, right? She tricked them. Yeah, I know. It wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry too. And then Lambda Delta body was lit up by the emerald green light. There are the cats. Is Berenkastel here as well? When she turned around, the cat's eyes and Lambda Delta's met. Lambda Delta grinned and waved. New soundtrack? There was a thunderous boom and several bright flashes. Hi, Bern! She just throwing candies! Okay, I love this. This episode is going to be so good. A chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Berenkastel and her pack of familiars in an instant. They were multicolored fireworks, or rather, multicolored candy that burst with flash and scatters everywhere. Countless stick candies, sugar sculptures, cookies, and tarts flew in every direction. And each of those split and exploded into hundreds of candies, each of which exploded again into a cloud of competitors. So she had like frag grenades, basically. Okay, Lambda. Okay, you are basically Toho character. Yes, okay, I get this. Okay. Whoever those sweets weren't sweet. The competitor was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and sharper than any blade. As the colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted the entire pack of cats into little bits. Also, 1 second, I just need to actually make it a bit. I had to fix the sound for my own sake. It was, even though I can barely hear on one of my ear, I had it too loud. I think that should be fine. Should be fine, yeah. The emerald green glints that were scattered everywhere sparkled like the night sky. And among them danced a cloud of pretty candies that looked like they would go well on the Christmas tree. It was flashy and beautiful and cute and perfectly fitting for the grand entrance of the Great Witch, Lady Lambda Delta. Hell yeah! Aww! See, I said it's going to be the battle between two lovers. Okay. Typical Berenkastel, yep, typical cat. Cute and ferocious. With a jerk of her chin, Bern ordered her familiars to attack. My only friend. Why this like little... Why you add this? It just make her cute. I believe like... Okay, never mind. Because... Oh, okay, never mind. I just had some thoughts. Never mind. Okay, so just leaves. Okay. Yo, that's cool. Wow, this is cool animation. It turned into shark. The crowd of cats undulated again, reformed in a single mass, and became an emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims who snuck into the city of books. It was shaped like an impossibly vast whale. Okay, whale, okay. However, would it look like a whale from the top perspective? She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth to swallow up everything. Lambda being typical Lambda, I love it. Okay, first of all, I never read Higurashi, and I just know like, I guess like from like very old anime, like about what it is, kind of. I can technically read Higurashi as the visual novel and like not know like 99% of the story, so yeah. We might read Higurashi at some point, by the way. But if I remember correctly, like this is basically parallel to Higurashi, right? Kinda. Like she's like Rika and Satoko, and they were like friends or something, but killed each other anyway, something like that. Yeah, stuff. Okay. This is the love battle. However, the war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, whirling leviathan in a single bite. Okay. Wait. The same instant that Lambda was swallowed and Benkasa was sure of her victory, the latter felt a slight breeze playing with her hair. The countless sweets that Lambda had sent flying like fireworks and which drifted about like the decoration at the Christmas party were flowing. No, they were converging at a single point. Okay. It was like watching a firework run backwards. Countless sweets rapidly contracting to somewhere within the vast closed mouth of the Leviathan. Okay, they're just like coming back to them, like... Okay. Projectiles coming back, I guess. A gigantic reverse explosion, gathering at a single inner point. Or perhaps it was more like countless candies showering the Leviathan from all directions like bullets. I don't know if any of you played Path of Exile, but this is what I thought about instantly. I don't... Who played it, then he knows, but yeah... Projectiles coming back, yeah. Inside that mass of green was a black swirl. That swirl was on a palm. Whoa! On the palm from the delta wore a defiant smile. What is this? Am I reading Muramasa now? It was a mass of super concentrated gravity. I think I'm reading Muramasa. Holy shit, this is so cool. All of those sweets, the cats and the whale and everything else was being sucked into that one point and crunched. Lambda Delta have power of gravity. Gravity is not cute, Lambda. Actually, maybe it is. Who knows? What's in your brain? Maybe you see this ball and you think, hey, this is candy. Get over here. Now she's Scorpion. So, well, that's for what black hole is, apparently, right? All of the candies on the Delta had scattered were getting sucked back into the black hole on her palm at unbelievable speeds. Okay, Bern, what's your response? Lambda's clearly, like, superior to Bern, holy shit. Like, she herself can control just, like, laws of physics and create a black hole on the palm of her hand. What the fuck? The pressure of the reverse candy explosion withered away the Leviathan, crushing it inwards. Oh! Wait, this is like... Okay, this is the end of Burning Castle? Yeah, that's a tight hug! Yeah! With all her strength, Burning Castle held her ground in midair, trying to resist the super gravity. For the first time, all trace of condensation had left her face. Even on the Delta, cocky expression was marred by the sweat trailing from her forehead. Okay, I guess this requires a lot of concentration and power. I mean, this is like freaking black hole, so yeah, I guess it's tiring. Because her power was so overwhelming, any victory would have been instantaneous. If either relaxed in the slightest, they would match each other's strengths and get dragged into another dizzying long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go through that again. Okay, yeah, this is the reference to the first fight that they had and Baron lost it, right? So, neither of them showed the slightest mercy of their most beloved friend. By now, the Leviathan had been completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Lancaster was the only one still holding her ground. However, a windstorm of candy asteroids, like the asteroid belt, rapidly slammed into Lancaster, wearing away her girl form bit by bit. Girl form? Is she going to turn into cat? Is it like her true form? Okay. The next thing to fly into Lancaster's range of vision was a comet, hurling straight for her with a massive present box at its core and a cloud of candy surrounding it. Ben, this is your Santa present! Wow, what a scream. This is such an overwhelming win. I expected Bern to like give like more like fight, because we don't know Berncaster abilities really. We just know that like, hey, she can manipulate cats. We never like saw actually Lambda like presenting any kind of like magic. We didn't saw any like kind of like true magic from Lambda Delta as well. So now we see what she can do, but I expected to see something from Berncaster, but she was just like, hey, my minions died. Okay, I guess I'm gone. Okay, I guess she just is intelligent. Not the best fighter. Okay, she's going to be shredded to pieces. Oh. Wow, these animations. The candy comet wiped out Berncaster along with her scream. It burst into little bits. Then within a blink of an eye, it was sucked back into the hole of supergravity. Once it was all gathered into one place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing all of the cats and their master, it now looked like the winding, flickering emerald green galaxy that floated just above Delta's palm. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing and further, until at the end it became a single green shining competitor. Oh! Okay. Then it fell. Down, out into her outstretched palm. Is she going to eat it? Is she going to eat Bern?
ごめんね、ベル。あなたといつまでも遊んでいたいから、
Holy shit, so that's why she was not that scared about you. She was like, yeah, we can fight. So you were never serious. Okay, that's when it was one-sided. You just caught her off guard. And she didn't have any chance to escape. Okay, who knows, maybe last episode we saw Bern. Probably. I mean, she just turned into candy. Maybe like Lambda will release her like later after like everything is like done, so they can still have some fun time in like their own like little fragment that we saw back in episode 4, the party, I believe. Now Delta held the Compute above her head and peered at it. Seems like it, yeah. Then she pressed the Compute to her pink lips, gave it a light kiss, and bite down. Oh. Lambda Delta licked her fingertips, then turned to face the empty air behind her. Oh? It doesn't taste like burn. You tasted burn before, you say. I will leave that to your imagination, I guess. So she's still here. Dive to emergency. What is this? Wow, what is this? What is this battle? What is this soundtrack? Why it's so intense? Well, can have more tricks, I guess. Okay. Okay. Both of us serious, so Bern was also holding back, maybe? Cool. I guess so. Wow. Is there like real, like, because this is Meta World, is there like a real perspective of Lambda and Berncastle? Like, Berncastle is a cat. If Berncastle is a cat, then what is Lambda? What's Lambda? Is she another cat? Is she like, I don't know, cat street? Is she candy? Is she a toy? What is she? Maybe she's a cat toy and like Bern cannot like, because Bern like is like losing, right? So cat cannot resist the toy, so she's a toy because she's toying with Bern all the time. She was never serious and Bern never won because cat cannot win against the cat toy. Perfect. Damn the faces. With the crash, crack lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. The fight is so intense that they're like in another fragment of like City of Books and it's crushing the Golden Land. What kind of power they have? What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh. Okay, never mind. It's just fleet attacking. Then finally the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet assault. It was a bizarre scene. More ridiculous than anything anyone had imagined. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass, and the fleet of sailboats flew in one after another. They were crowded with goats, pushing each other and spilling off the sides. Okay. Banquet. That wasn't some fancy metaphor, but a simple statement of fact. Yeah, under Banquet we saw us in episode 2. Can we like make a parallel to episode 2 of this, maybe? The overwhelming surge of goat troops came in like a tsunami. The residents of the Golden Land, who stood defiantly, were like a forgotten sandcastle on the beach. A fight between a wave and the sandcastle is not a fight. For the voracious, merciless goats now storming the food at the standing buffet, this was the feast. Okay. I think Natsuki with the Winchester is going to be the yeah. Red Moon. Now we are playing the Azira. I'm sorry, I see so many like things in Umineko today. I'm sorry, I'm just like I have to just reference everything today. All those who could use magic fired it off at once. With a shout like a thunderclap, the goat tsunami rushed forward. Everything collided at once. It was a brilliant and terrible explosion. Sparkles and smoke, flying splinters and screams. For just an instant, the fierce magical cannonballs fired by Beato, Virgilia, and the Chester sisters seems to halt the goat tsunami in its tracks. So, does that mean that the people on the convention just got impatient and they just like try to open the book like forcefully right now? Because they said that there's a time, right? Until the book can be opened. Because there's a seal. I think like the people just getting like impatient, right? Right now. However, the numbers were so great that they didn't even flinch. The goat wave pressed forward over the corpses of those who had been blasted away or fallen to their knees in weariness. The mound of corpses piled up, and still more goats were shot down as they tried to cross it. So that before long, it really was tall enough to be a tsunami. Okay. I mean, Beato being serious. Holy shit, she actually summoned towers that we saw already. Beato lifted her hands, telling the pair of battle towers had been hidden deep in the ground that the day of glory had come again. The goat tsunami looked up in a shock. After all, this time the tsunami that towered over everything wasn't them. Yep. The thunderstorm of rapid-fire ballista rounds rained down from the battle tower gunports. The goats let out a confused scream at the furious tempest that was bearing down on them. I guess security just stopped the impatient people, right? This is the parallel, I guess. However, they saw something else too. Oh! This is the spear that Virgilia had, right? The one that always hits the target. In the sky high above the tower was Reaper, a divine horse, and the backdrop by the moon. With a massive spear, the size of a tower in its hand. The next words came not from the Reaper, but from the great witch seated behind it. Oh, that was blood! Someone got hit? The heavenly spear pierced the ground. For an instant, it looked like some divine tower was striking out of the ground. However, that was the very last thing those eyes ever saw. What? The sacred spear was the embodiment of a heaven wrath, and the strength to bury an unhallowed city in a single stroke was unleashed upon the pack of goats. With a massive explosion that resembled a volcanic eruption, goats were sent flying all over the place. Okay. Hell yeah, they are. Give the Winchester to Kyrie, she knows how to use it. There she is, okay. And Kinzo being Kinzo, of course. The best morale you can have. Great. All you need is a desire. Desire to fight back. Yes, the crowd of ghosts truly was like a wave pressing in from the sea. You might be able to split a ripple on the beach with your feet, but you cannot split the sea. However, witches are those who can do so non-teles? I cannot read that, sorry. Of course, that meant the other side also had one who could split apart the sea. Yup, Erika. Because Erika is also a witch. Suddenly, smoke poured from one of the two battle towers and began to crumble, shaking the ground as it collapsed. She cut it down, like in the base, like a tree, with a scythe. On top, okay. Yeah. On top of the other battle tower, Rika stood gracefully, wielding her scythe. Yep, she's always fighting with, like, against the fantasy. Playing witches, yeah, I guess that's what she's doing. This is like also like funny contradiction, like she's a witch of truth. She is like a magical scythe, and she says that magic don't exist. Yeah, she's just like playing magic right now. With magic, because she's not playing cards, right? Magic, the Gathering, anyone knows. Erika threw that pretentious pirate hat she had been wearing this whole time into the sky. No, the hat! With the moon behind it, Erika form, her after image, vanished from Tower Peak. This is insane. Like, since when she got that fast? Like, what? Okay, this is cool. Okay, I like this one. I didn't even read what is there. Holy shit, this is cool. I love it. Look at her face. She's like a maniac running. This is cool, actually, like wallpaper material. I like it. You can like post on Discord like this battle in the manga format. I'm interested how it looks in the manga. Shaking with a wide, joyous laughter, Rika dashed straight down the side of the tower. She twirled her scythe like a gymnast baton, dicing up the wall, gun ports, pillars, and everything else as she ran, leaving a trail of smoke behind her. And also she's like running like on the side. So from the sidelines, it looked like as though a line of smoke had suddenly split the tower from top to bottom. The golden arrows of the Chester sisters chased after Erika like golden threads in a sewing machine. Okay. Did she outrun it? This is cool. Good though. Even the golden arrows couldn't catch up with Erika. Yeah, she can outrun it. Okay. Finally, Erika reached the bottom of the battle tower and the golden bows ejected empty cartridges. How bows can have cartridges? That doesn't make sense. I mean, yeah, I guess like, I mean, Chester are Winchesters, right? So it makes sense, the Winchesters have cartridges. But it's still funny, golden bows ejected cartridges. Erika, who had now landed to the ground, slowly stood up and tapped the tower behind her with a handle of her scythe. What a badass! What a badass! She just cut everything, sat down like boop. Wow. The tiny tap cut the final string that held the tower together, and the whole thing fell in on itself with the earth-shattering crash. Once again, the dark tsunami rumbled forward, running forward through the rubble and smoke. You just stole the line from Will. And now she just used the move of Beato from episode 3, I believe, when she said that to Virgilia to make her like remember that she actually died. Wow. The goat tsunami swallowed everything up. When she saw them sink under the black sea of goats, Erika gasped from the atop the debris of the tower. Actually, it was episode 2, not episode 3. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the attack of the fleet. Wow. And just choice. Okay, and we're back to the key, and this is the new soundtrack. Bizarre Divermento. I wonder if this is copyrighted. Probably it is. Is it Die or is it TS? If it's one of these two, then this is copyrighted. Eva had indeed broken the magic circle around the key beforehand, but what? We'll see in the next episode. Because that was the battle. The battle of love, battle between lovers, and the battle between friends, the battle for truth, the battle of, like, Erika, like, a lot of battles. That was pretty much cool episode. I wonder how it's represented in, like, real, like, form of the stuff, you know? Maybe this is just the situation that we had in, like, episodes earlier, like episode 4 maybe, when we have, like, long, like, interpretation of what's happening in the magic perspective, in, like, meta world, but really it's, like, just one action happening, let's say, right? Like, they open the book, and yeah, now we see, like, all the battle and stuff. Maybe that's the case. Well, anyway, we'll continue the next episode. We'll see what is the Angel's choice. What kind of choices there left? Because she already chose before, and she chose now, right? She chose to actually keep the book secret of the second time. So is there going to be the third choice? She's going to decide again? Is she going to change her mind once again? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? And I will see you in the next one. So leave a like if you liked the episode, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And yeah, thank you everyone for your comments. And I will see you all in the next episode from Umineko Chiru. So for the Pocket Watch, it's going out.